All right, what is up? We are live. Looks like old James Dennis Allen Hamlin won the race. Strong weekend for Toyota. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano get eliminated with Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who both had really good seasons. I think if you told them coming into the season they get into the playoffs, I think they'd probably be okay with that. Obviously, they wanted more than that. But I think for those two teams, it was definitely a positive. I think for the other two teams, definitely a bummer. Definitely Harvick in his last year, not being able to go past the first round of the playoffs. Definitely a bummer. And the defending champ, got to feel like he was in a disappointing season too. But that's the way it goes. Right now, 67%. That is the poll question, by the way. 67% saying Kevin Harvick is the most disappointing elimination. Joey Logano is second at 22%. And 11% for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. No votes for Michael McDowell yet. So he was not even expected to be into the playoffs, according to everyone who has voted so far. All right, let's jump into the chat, see what all you guys want to talk about. Actually, before I do that, I want to just pay my respects real quick to Sherry Pollux. Just an unfortunate situation. Former girlfriend of Martin Truex Jr., longtime girlfriend. She came up with the catwalk for a cure to fight cancer, and she fought cancer very visibly and raised a lot of money to hopefully one day get a cure for it. And obviously cancer sucks. So she put up a good fight, and through her foundation, she will live on. So she hasn't lost the fight. She just lost that battle, but hate to see Sherry Pollux gone. And so wanted to pay respects. Now I'll jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. Two champions and two Daytona 500 winners are out, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about the Daytona 500 aspect of it, but yeah, for sure, that definitely plays into it as well. What's up, Duke Chronic? Good to see you on here as always. BB, how about Hocevar? Great run, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, Carson Hocevar. First off, let's give a little bit of credit to Legacy Motor Club because that team has struggled all season, but recently, the last 5 or 6 weeks, longer than that if you follow Eric Jones, but the last 2 or 3 weeks for sure, both cars have been fast. Some of that is definitely Hocevar. I think as far as young talents go, he is the most ready for Cup of all the young talents right now. The other part of it is you got to have something to drive. Now, sometimes that car is still 8 positions different than the 43, but this weekend it was reversed, obviously, with Eric Jones getting into some trouble and stuff like that. I guess I assume. I didn't see the highlights of where he got in trouble. But anyway, good on Carson Hocevar because he is bringing life to that team. And I do think you will see him, just my opinion, and that's just my guess. Like, dislike, good to see you. What's up, 2? Logano 1 right, says OJ and Toothpaste. Not Earth 2 in his in his final full-time season, at least for the foreseeable future. BJ McLeod wins on Earth 2. He locked it up early. Hamlin is such an a-hole. Can't wait to see him not win another championship, says OJ and Toothpaste. Without a question, a lot of people were rubbed the wrong way with what he said in Victory Lane. To me, it's just Denny Hamlin being Denny Hamlin. Like, he does stuff like that. He likes to stay in the news cycle, so I didn't really see it as anything different than that. He's just embracing the bad guy role. Rest in peace, Sherry. She did have a battle for sure, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, no doubt about that, Duke Chronic. She fought it to the very end. OJM Toothpaste also saying sad for Sherry. That was a downer for sure. Cassandra, hey, y'all from North Idaho. What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Idaho? Sha, what's up? Hashtag Cherry Strong says DJ Charizard. Is it Charizard? Is that a Pokemon? I'm just gonna call you DJ. What's up, Chrome Diesel? Thoughts and prayers to the Pollux family and Martin Truex Jr. says X-Dude. Like dislike saying I think Truex has some added motivation now for the rest of the season. Certainly something like that will affect you. And not that he wasn't focused, but just certain situations can bring you to a different level of focus. So, it would be really cool if he could get a championship or just another win, just anything where he could, because he wants to honor his longtime girlfriend there. Bubba, you just can't help it, can you? Says X-Dude. Let's see. I didn't see. I heard there was some controversy about Bubba. I don't know. Did he say something else? He said something else about mental health. According to the comments, I hadn't seen it yet, so I'll have to look for that and find it before I can really intelligently comment on it. Hopefully Martin wins the championship for Sherry, says DJ. Hocevar is Cup ready. No need for Xfinity anymore as the cars are so different. I was hoping he would finish ahead of Gibbs. says Shaw. Yeah, he had a good run. Unfortunately for him, I did read this at the end of the race. He had a loose wheel, so that loose wheel is actually what cost him some positions there at the end of the race. He probably would have finished in front of who was it? Gibbs. He probably would have finished in front. He probably would have had a fourth, or I'm saying he probably would have had a third to fifth, somewhere in there, I'm guessing. McDowell is the most disappointing elimination. My dude was running good. Harvick has been slow. Ricky, but Logano deserved to shift the bed. So I don't care much, says Charlotte Anders. So there you go. She was upset that her man McDowell didn't go on through. But I tell you what, man, they've been building. They have been building and building over there at Front Row Motorsports. I am super impressed with what they've been able to build, especially losing the crew chief Harris to go over and work with the 48. I thought that would be a big blow to them. They have not missed a beat. They continue to put the right people in the right places over there. So for sure. X-Dude saying Josephus is the real deal. Josephus is the real deal. Carson Josephus Hocevar. Old Josephus getting all his rowdy friends are getting wild on Saturday, Sunday, and Friday nights now. Let's see who's your next four you think will be eliminated in the next round, BB. So let me go to my trusty sheet of knowledge here. So let's see. Harvick's already out. Right now, I'm just looking at average finish overall for all the tracks. It looks like I'll tell you what. No, I've got actually round two statistics. I outdid myself this time. So let's see. Truex is not looking good for round two. He's got two tracks in round two that are really bad for him. One of them being the Charlotte Roval. I can't remember what the other one was, but Truex does not have a good average finish here. Chris Buescher not looking really good here either. Actually, Kyle Larson's numbers here are not great, but since let's see here, since Bubba Wallace actually advanced, Bubba Wallace's numbers are actually worse than his, and so are some combination of Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, Martin Truex Jr., and possibly Ryan Blaney. That's what it looks like from the numbers I've got here. So what did I say here? Blaney, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, and Martin Truex Jr. By the numbers. I just go by the numbers for stuff like this. So let's see here. But McDowell was running good recently and fought until the end. Yeah, for sure. They have found a lot of speed over there. I think next year he's not going to be able to surprise anybody. I think next year some people will actually pick him off jump to be in the round of 16 at least, or to the playoffs or whatever. Shaw says, I thought Hamlin's comments after the race was awesome. Not a fan, but it was hilarious. Yeah, so he was definitely trolling. Look, he was trolling. He knew this would get some more press. He knew he won the race, but he knew the way to get press. He's figured this out. You have to have some storyline other than winning the race. So he made that the storyline for this week, that he trolled the fans back. Dolphins or Patriots, says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm going to go with Dolphins as long as nobody gets hurt. I haven't seen enough scoring out of the Patriots, so I'm going to go with the Dolphins there. Let's see. Chrome Diesel, not a fan of Hamlin. Reasons I don't like him are his hypocrisy, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, he's definitely a hypocrite. There's no doubt about that. He'll be the first one to admit that too, I think. I think he said that on the show before, that he's like a big hypocrite. But yeah, for sure. I understand where you're coming from, Chrome Diesel. Typical Darrell Wallace Jr., look at me, drama queen script, says Sonny V. I mean, you've got Denny Hamlin, who is a villain. You've got Bubba Wallace, who has embraced the villain role a little bit because he came out with the what did he do at Wilkesboro? He did something at Wilkesboro other than the middle finger. Like when he came out to ovations or whatever, he did the crying face or something like that. So he's sort of embraced the villain role too. 2311 Tyler Reddick, I don't think he's embraced the villain role. Who else at Toyota? Ty Gibbs has definitely embraced the villain role a little bit. So Toyota's got more of the bad boy drivers, I would say, than probably any other match. Is not afraid to speak his mind, put it out there. Kevin Harvick, although he's retiring, and you can't really call him a boy because he's a grown man. But yeah, I would say per capita, Toyota probably has more of the bad boys, bad guys, villain role. Ross Chastain, I guess Chevrolet. Their biggest villain would be Ross Chastain. Ford, I guess Joey Logano maybe. A lot of people dislike Joey Logano because of the Martin Truex deal, and various other ones. I think Mark Martin was one of them, and just go down the line why people might not like Joey Logano. So those will be the biggest villains for the other manufacturers. 11 to win, says Juan Camillo. Or you could go with the other way with it, of course. Tuna salad is not the same without Dolphin. Charlotte Ander agreed. If Front Row carries this momentum and builds into the next year, they may be a dark horse round of 8 pick. Yeah, for sure. And don't forget Todd Gilliland. He's over there. He's getting better every single race too. So I wouldn't count him out of anything either. 2023 champion, calling it now, says Juan Camillo. Going with Denny Hamlin there. Roval can have bad weather. Usually rains a bit. I would say you would have to put Hamlin and Kyle Larson right now, probably as your 2 favorites, just by how they've run. I think a close second. Not a lot of people are talking about him. He did have a stumble in one of the races, but Chris Buescher has got to be up there too for his last 6 or 7 weeks. You got the mix there. And then there's probably there's going to be somebody that gets hot at the right time. Other than that, William Byron has to be the other safe pick. Anybody sort of getting hot at the right time, but those would be my 4 just eyeball test. That's the 4 that look the best right now. Roval can have bad weather. Usually rains a little bit, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, for sure. I hate to say it, but I figure Kyle Busch is out by the next round. He might be. But there are no short tracks, I don't think, in the next round. So he should be okay. What are your thoughts on no dirt at Bristol? Says like dislike. That's fine with me. They never should have put dirt on it to begin with. I'm glad they tried something, but it didn't work, and they should have cut their losses. If NASCAR wants a dirt race, there are plenty of dirt tracks, regardless of what people say. There are plenty of dirt tracks that can host a NASCAR event, and they can host it well. Eldora being the main one that everybody points to. So if they want to do a dirt race, do it at a proper dirt track. Give the dirt fans what they want to see, a NASCAR dirt race on a proper dirt track. With dirt rules, with heat races, just do it right. RFK has quickly become the best 4 team. Who would have thunk it a few months ago, says X-Dude. Yeah, without a doubt. You have to say right now, they are the best 4 team. They're without question the best 4 team, the way they've run the last 10 weeks. Harvick silently criticized the format by saying the system really doesn't represent your year overall, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it. And look, as long as the drivers don't band together and say we want something different, nothing's going to happen because it's driven by TV. So it's going to take a big push from the drivers to get it changed. 2024 surprised me if Front Row Motorsports does not place a car in the playoffs or at least contend for a spot into Daytona, says Charlotte. Yeah, I agree. I think at least one of those cars is always going to be challenging. I think getting into the playoffs from here on out is not going to be a guarantee for a lot of these 4-car teams. You saw it this year with Hendrick. Obviously, some of that was their doing. But even without that, the 48 car, I think he only missed 1 or 2 races. So, going forward, it's not going to be a guarantee these 4-car teams get all their cars in like it has been in the past. BD, they should have stage cautions without stage points. Should they have stage cautions without stage points? To me, personally, you can just get rid of the stages altogether and just have heat races. But, that's just me. Bubba has no stage wins or bonus points, says Thomas Haywood. Yeah, so he's starting at a massive deficit for sure. Most of them I do not consider bad boys. I consider them lame nerds, says Shah. I mean, yeah, same difference from however you want to view them. But you get the point. They're being cast, at least from the mainstream media, in the villain role. Who gets the number 10, says DJ. Either Eric Almirola's coming back or Eric Almirola's coming back. That's what yeah, that's the other thing. I meant to put it in the video, but I didn't think about it because I was just the 10 next season. Even in chat from Linux Mint Debian edition. So Linux. Okay, Linux Debian edition. No Ubuntu for RJ. So there we go. Where does Spire come up with 40 million? I'm guessing from Trackhouse. That would be my guess. That's why they have an alliance. So I'm guessing that's where the 40 million came from. I'm a Charlotte Roval fan myself, says RJ. I like the Roval too. I'm not an anti-Roval person. Should Bowman be replaced with Carson Hocevar? You can't. I mean, you can throw that out there if you want to, but Alex Bowman signed a multi-year extension. They're not going to get rid of Alex Bowman anytime soon. It's funny that even though he's got a multi-year extension, everybody still wants to put Alex Bowman on the hot seat. RJ says, hey, Shah, how are you? Don't forget the thumbs up, you Hooters, says Shah. Haley Deegan's future at Thor Sport is in doubt, says RJ. I saw somebody made a video about that, but I didn't. I couldn't get past the first. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because it'll come off as negative. Huge Noah fan, but Hocevar running so well in the 42 really paints his season in a worse look, says Patrick. To some extent, I mean, it just depends on how you want to look at it. I think they've gotten the cars better here recently as well, so I think no matter who's in it, they would have run better. But I'm not taking anything away from Carson Hocevar. I think Carson Hocevar is the most cup-ready talent there is. So, yes, I would say Carson Hocevar definitely more ready for Cup than Noah is at this point in his career. So, I think it's going to work out for Hocevar. I don't know. And this is what I was trying to say. This puts a lot more pressure on John Hunter Nemechek. John Hunter Nemechek has to come in here and follow up what Carson Hocevar just did next season in those Toyotas. So, if he doesn't run well, he's immediately going to have pressure on him if Carson Hocevar is still available, which I don't think he will be. I think he'll be over there. In my opinion, I have no inside information. I think he'll be over there in the 77 for Spire. I think BJ McLeod will win Texas next week in his final season, says OJ and Toothpaste. Plus, there are going to be a lot of Noah fans that just are never going to like John Hunter Nemechek. So I thought I'd throw that in there too. BJ McLeod, you never know. You never know. They might throw a Hail Mary, get something going. Definitely on Earth too. He's always got a chance on Earth too. But, with Live Fast basically selling the charter, you never know when they might just throw a Hail Mary and put all their assets into one final race. And that might be the swan song for BJ McLeod as a team owner. They did say they're going to run some spot races here and there. Hi, RJ. I'm good at being bad. How are you, says Shaw. Old Motor Oil on the track at Bristol next year, says Keith Risk. That would definitely loosen it up for him. ARCA used to go to the Springfield Mile. NASCAR could go there. So there you go. Springfield's in play for a dirt track. Shaw has some ups and downs. Got to get my crowns replaced since I accidentally knocked them out last week. They did take out all my roots. No dental work, please. Let's see. I think it makes my teeth hurt thinking about it. I think Casey Atwood will get the 10 car. I heard via Bob Pockris. So, hey, there you go. Casey Atwood to the 10 car. I heard he's going to the 19 car. I heard Ray Evernham's coming back, and that's where it's going to go. I knew I could get you going with that dirt question. Great answer. Says like, dislike. In the Latford system, both RFK drivers are in the championship hunt. It's JGR versus RFK, unless they both crash, allowing the Kyles to sneak in, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, for sure. Kyle Larson is making up ground, and Kyle Busch is losing ground slightly. But yeah, for sure. I knew Chris Buescher was up there, and Brad Keselowski, but I didn't know they were quite up there that high in the Latford system. I need to go take a look. Bristol should have never gotten rid of the dirt race. Opinion, says Travis. A lot of people did like the dirt race. I'm not against the dirt race. I just think they should have a dirt race on an actual dirt track so that the people there know what they're doing. I'm not taking a dump on Bristol, but Bristol was never really should have been the dirt race anyway, because all Bristol needs is 2 night races. The Bristol day race is never going to sell as good as the night race. So if you just have 2 night races, I think that'll help out the Bristol attendance problem. It's a huge seating area, so you're gonna have to do something to pack everybody in there. Although they did it the other night. Let's see. ARCA doesn't go to the Springfield Mile anymore. Dang, that's a great dirt track, says MB. I wanted dentures so I could get a set of fangs, says Shaw. Spire Motorsports back with Ty Dillon next year. You think BB great mentor for Zane Smith to finish great, says OJ and Toothpaste. Maybe on Earth 2. On Earth 1, I think they're going to go with the young kid, in my opinion, of Carson Hocevar in that 77. I think that's who lands in the 77 next year. And full circle, like I've got it back there somewhere. Can we see it? Nope, can't see it. But full circle, Ross Chastain drove the 77 for one of his first Cup rides and was the Dirty Mo Media. And now Trackhouse has an alliance and basically owns part of the 77 now. So pretty like full circle as far as the Ross Chastain story goes. Carson is freaking fast, says Brian Chastain, no doubt about it. Does the $40 million go to BJ McLeod, says Thomas Haywood. I think he's going to split it with Matt Tifft. I think they sort of went in there. I don't know what the actual split is without looking at some business records or something like that. So no clue. Let's see here. Got to catch up on the chat here. People bit off my head when I said Zane Smith was not ready for Cup. I just don't like when they rush a guy up. I mean, yeah, but Zane Smith's a Truck Series champion, so I'm not biting your head off. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I think Carson Hocevar, just from what we've seen here, looks like he's more ready than anybody right now. So I have to put him at A1 if you wanted a young driver. And Bumblebee saying rest in peace, Sherry Pollux. Just in case you missed the beginning of the live stream, Sherry Pollux has left us. The founder of the what is it? Catwalk for a Cause. Catwalk for a Cause, I think is what it's called. But for sure, Martin Truex Jr.'s longtime girlfriend. So definitely a sad day today as far as that goes. Charter for $40 million, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, they banked $34 million because I think they bought it for like right at 12 or 16 or something. So I think they ended up banking $34 million or something like that. Is what it said. I think Adam Stern regarding Sherry. Jenna Allison says rest in peace. Yeah, for sure, without a doubt, sad day for sure as far as that goes. BJ McLeod will lead all 188 laps at Talladega and win. Not only will he win OJ and Toothpaste, the rest of them will be a lap down. Of course, we're talking about Earth 2 statistics there. RJ says, hey, Bumblebee, hope Martin's doing okay. I feel bad for the guy. Yeah, for sure. This is definitely going to affect Martin Truex Jr. There's no doubt about that. They need more cars in the field. Bring 43 cars back, says DJ. I don't disagree with you. I wish there were I guess with the way it is now, it's harder to get an actual chassis to have a car like that. Even if you don't want to have a charter, you still got to get the car, right? So I think that plays into it as well. Hamlin is just a point behind Truex in the Latford system, says Chrome Diesel. So there you go. Martin Truex bleeding points. Hopefully he can get it going as far as the Latford system goes. But we will also he's also back in it with the playoff chase too. So he's number 2 in playoff points right now because of the reset. So he survived that round, and if he gets something going this round, you never know what could happen. Whereas Terry Labonte, who is this Larson guy, says Keith Risk. I think he's the guy that has. I think he's got almost as much wins at Hendrick as Terry Labonte does. I think they're pretty close to tied right now. Larson actually might be over. I have to look that up. I might be wrong though. Sherry, I feel bad for her family. And Martin says Brian Chastain. Yeah, definitely a rough day as far as that goes. Ben Taylor exposes scammers on his channel. He does similar content to Jim Browning. I missed something in the conversation there. Shaw said, okay, Civ 6 and BB tonight is a good night. Appreciate you there, Glock. Always good to have you on here. West Coast friendly time for you guys out there tonight. Glock the Puss. Darville, the bandit says, Hocevar is just better than Nemechek. Nemechek has the fastest car every week. Hocevar gets comparable stats with lesser equipment. Yeah, that's I'm not going to say he's got the best equipment, but he's got really good equipment. There's no doubt about it. And that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of pressure for him to run good because Hocevar has just put pressure on him. And I said that long before Hocevar ever climbed in that car and started running like he was. So you can go back and look at that. So I am on record as saying that before he started running good because I had a good feeling that Hocevar was going to put up some numbers, especially after he gave that 77 like the run of its life a few races ago, or the number 7. It wasn't the 77, the number 7 a few races before that. It's the Springfield Mile at Illinois State Fairgrounds. RJ, plenty of picks. A few times I got to go. They should run Pikes Peak instead of the Bristol Spring Race. The actual Pikes Peak hill climb for sure. No, I know what you're talking about. The Pikes Peak circle track there. Let's see. Shaw never heard of his alias Mike Roach. I'm driving the 10 car next year. I hate to bust y'all's bubble, but I'm winning 15 races in a championship. Trust in the B. We will be champs. Says Bumblebee. So there you go. You heard it here first. They're putting Bumblebee. Kelly Lee is going in the number 10 car next year. Bumblebee High, you would kick Bubba's butt, says RJ. I know RJ seen some similar type thing on YouTube. ARCA was better than USAC Sprints. I once met a guy named Lost in the chat. I have no clue what y'all are talking about right now. Starter is guaranteed to start every race, so it's better for us to know they're in the race too, says Duke Chronic. Without question, the charter guarantees a lot more sponsor money. So from the team's perspective, they want it from the fans' perspective, it's better without the charters. So it's a balancing act, and I think NASCAR realizes they've made a mistake with the charters as well because they've given the teams too much power because they basically unionized them. I don't know how they missed. I don't know. I'm not getting into it. It was stupid on NASCAR to never come up with them. But now that they've come up with them, if you're a team and you get rid of the charter, you're a bad business person. RJ, I wish I could have helped save Sherry's life. BB, I mean, we're all in that boat. I wish we could cure all cancers. To be totally honest with you, do you think Trackhouse will be 3 or a 4-car team one day? Chastain, Suarez, and Ty Dillon. I think they'll go to probably a 3-car team. I think they always want to leave that one team open for sort of that all-star car that they've got going on. Now I see Martin Truex Jr. win the championship. Says RJ. Jenna Allison says, let's go Rowdy. Anybody but Hamlin and the Cowboys, says Thomas Haywood. So he pretty much just pulls against teams. He doesn't necessarily have a favorite. I like your style, Thomas Haywood. Duke Chronic, are you addicted to Mountain Dew? At least you know, says MB. Hiya, fellas and ladies. Somber day in the NASCAR community. Rest in peace, Sherry Pollux, says Roofer. And without question, definitely going to be probably a sad few weeks, to be honest with you. Bones with the super chat. Appreciate you. Bones coming through with the super chat with the big fist bump there. Thank you very much, my friend. Josh Shaw, why doesn't NASCAR get another manufacturer? Couldn't they pay some British or Korean company to get involved? I think they're trying to. Without a question. MB says, Sherry Strong, I cried today for her. I think a lot of people did. It's definitely a very sad day. Like, obviously, we didn't know Sherry, but you felt like you knew her. Like, she was pretty much as important to the NASCAR community as a non-driver. She's probably the most famous non-driver is what I'm trying to get at. I don't have a good way of putting that, but I feel like a lot of people knew her story and knew about her and knew what she was standing for and what she was about. And I think this has affected a lot of people today. So my issue with the charter is it reminds me of how the F1 grid is being exclusive and teams don't even want Andretti to join in, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, one day it could definitely get to that point. There's no question about that. I understand why Denny says the stuff he says now. He knows people will bite and bark back. I don't want people saying they want a personality and hating on him. I don't like him, but he is entertaining. And that's what I've been saying for the longest time, long time. He looks at Twitter traffic and stuff like that. He looks at those analytics and he says, what do I have to do? What do I have to do today to be trending in the news cycle? I've said this for the longest. He just wants to be in the news cycle because he knows if he's in the news cycle, it's going to get him sponsors. It's going to help out 2311. So on and so forth. It raises his star, just things like that. He does stuff like this on purpose. It's all planned out. Do you think Sheldon Creed wrecked Austin Hill on purpose, says OJ and Toothpaste? I have no idea. I didn't see the wreck. I was at a Speedway when that happened. Jen Allison, I might have cloned Davey Allison. Is that good or bad? Says RJ, I wasn't embarrassed how bad Kevin Harvick's car was running. It was pretty bad, Joe Sample. It's probably the worst I've seen him. I'm sad to hear that Sherry Pollux, former girlfriend of Martin Truex Jr., passed away day from cancer. 44, says Dawson Fair. Let's see. BB, do you believe in aliens and UFOs? I haven't ever seen one, but I mean, I'm not going to say they aren't out there. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's not anything I ever really think too hard about. Definitely not. Both drivers were responsible, says Shaw. Talking about Sheldon Creel with Austin Hill up there. I said Roach, not Roach, BB. Sorry, I have no idea what you guys are talking about as far as that goes. So anyway, Ronald Russell, sad showing for KB last night. RCR needs to get it together. Yeah, they just don't have the short track package figured out yet. So that's the big. That's been the big weak spot for RCR. Has been the short tracks, and it showed last night. So they're gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna have to throw some Hail Marys or something because they've got to get their short track package figured out. I guess BB doesn't pay attention to Mo from The Simpsons. I haven't watched The Simpsons since like 2001. Whenever Family Guy, I stopped watching The Simpsons. Maybe NASCAR will do something for Sherry in October, says Duke Chronic. For sure. Hopefully they do. I was amazed how old Denny Hamlin is looking, says Shaw. He's got a lot on his plate right now. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anyway, but he's a team owner. He decided to start a podcast. He's still a race car driver. That's a lot. That's a lot on one person's plate. Not to mention, like, he's a dad. So I mean, just there's all kinds of stuff going on. Denny is the best WWF villain, says MBR. I like Denny now. Pretty funny. Interview, says Roofer. Yeah. So like I said, some people liked it, some people hated it, and I think a lot of people just know that it's Denny Hamlin getting into a news cycle. I think pretty much a lot of people have figured that out at this point. Hopefully RCR gets their act together and gives Kyle a good car next week. Says Joe Sample. He'll have a good car as long as it's not a short track. So I think he'll be okay. I beat your favorite driver was absolutely classic, says Shaw. Dollars to donuts. Dollars to donuts. That becomes a T-shirt for Denny Hamlin. I can almost guarantee it. That's going to be Denny Hamlin's next T-shirt, by the way. Let's see. That haircut you get, some late model wins, BB. I hope so. That haircut gets you some late model wins, BB. I hope so. We actually won the day I cut it. So I said I wasn't going to cut it until we won a race. I got sort of irritated with it because everybody's like, how do you wear that hair? It's so hot outside. So then I basically skint my head. I put it, well, I did not skin it. I put it on like guard 3 around it. And I was hotter without the hair than I was with the hair, but we won the race. So technically I didn't lie. I waited until we won a race, or at least the race weekend. So it worked out either way. Let's see. Does Denny Hamlin look like an old man now, says RJ? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Shaw or Canadians related to aliens, says RJ. Jenna Allison says she loves aliens and she loves Kyle Busch. No problem with that. No Yeti, says Shaw. Could RCR hire BJ McLeod for the number 3 next year? Man, that would on Earth too. It's a foregone conclusion. Speaking of number 3s, in the ARCA race, Landon Pimbleton with a nice, I think 7th place finish in Bristol in his first visit to Bristol in ARCA. So he was driving the number 3 as well. So good on him. Let's see. Sasquatch, Saskatchewan. Draw the connection, says Shaw. GGBB says MBR. Good game to you too, MB. Shaw, be lucky I don't send you to Alberta or Ontario, says RJ. Talking to Shaw. So apparently, I don't know. I guess you don't want to be in Alberta or Ontario. OJ and Toothpaste, you were definitely an alien, says Shaw. Larson's just waiting to ship Hamlin like FedEx, going to ship their sponsorship dollars when it matters. Rest in peace, Sherry. I'm sure Martin Truex Jr. will have some tribute on his car the next few weeks, says Cody. Without question. I think every driver in the field will have that because they all pretty much participate in the Catwalk for a Cure program or whatever, which crazy enough, like they literally just had the Catwalk for a Cure, and then like a couple days later she passed. So I feel like she was maybe hanging on just to see, because I think they live streamed it and she was able to watch it that way. So I think she hung on long enough to see that. And then I think, she eventually lost her fight, but at least she did fight long enough to see the last one or the most recent one. I'm Albertan, so there, says Shaw. The 42 was an absolute joke since it started last year. Carson H is the real deal. Dale Jr. was praising him, says Brian. Yeah, without question. He's getting the most out of that equipment. There is no doubt about that. He even got the most out of that number 7 equipment before the brakes gave up on him, whatever race that was. Was it Dover? I think that was Dover. I'm glad Joey got a dose of his own medicine. How much do those stage breaks doing for you now, Joey? Karma, says Roofer. Roofer definitely on Michael McDowell's side as far as the stage breaks goes. And definitely at least one of his drivers has been affected by the front bumper of the 22. And proud of it. I'm Albertan and proud of it, says Shaw. Do you know Austin Oganowski? I think that's how you say his name, says RJ. Yeah, seeing Carson Hocevar run down Denny Hamlin and almost get him for the 4th at stage 2, incredible. That kid's a star. Yeah, he hangs it out there. He really reminds me of Ross Chastain before they got Ross Chastain tamed and under control. He reminds me of OG Ross. So how long has it been since Logano shopped at the Home Depot, says RJ? Probably 2012, I'm guessing, somewhere in there. How'd you post that, Roofer? Now I'm crying again. The love they have for each other is just not fair and so sad. To her family and friends, she was such a good human, says Diane. Yeah, I think without question, there's no doubt that Sherry Pollux did a lot of good for the world. And hopefully that research one day defeats cancer. Yeah, it's hard to talk about that without getting choked up. So soon he'll be beating Denny's bumper, says RJ. It's a big place, RJ. We don't all know one another, LOL, says Shaw. So not all Albertans know each other. Apparently, it's really big. All right, looks like we're getting to the end of it. So if you guys want to vote on the poll, or if you got another question, I'll hang on here for a little bit longer. Is Hamlin back with his girlfriend, says Thomas Haywood? All signs point to yes. They have been seen together. So I would say that they are at least on speaking terms, if not back to living together in the same house. Invert the field after one of those stage breaks, chosen at random with a coin flip. PB is the GOAT, says Bumblebee. I appreciate you. Mark Barnum, what's up, man? Glad to see you on here, as always, my friend. Will Austin Dillon ever win a cup championship, BB, says OJ and Toothpaste? Never say never, but he is going to have to continue to improve. Like, he had improved every season until this season, in my eyes. This season, he's had a step back, whether it be bad luck or whatever, but he's lost the momentum of improving his craft. So hopefully he'll get back on track next year. But never say never. Have a good night, BB. You have a good night too, Chrome Diesel. Ever knocked out your teeth by accident, BB? I have not done that yet. I knocked out my crowns last week. I take it back. I knocked out a baby tooth by accident, but it was already loose, so I don't think that really counts. They had to take out my roots. Yeah, that's not good. I hate it for you. Tooth surgery. That's sensitive stuff. BB is a Billy Goat, says Shaw. Somebody should pick up Jeffrey Earnhardt. I tease. Oh, you're good. You're good. I got the what is it, the Billy Goat scruff or whatever. Yeah, so if you want to check out the merch site, Roofer has posted the merch site. Appreciate you there, Roofer. Austin Dillon will never win a championship, maybe a race, says Thomas Haywood. Love your show. The only reason I say that is for the longest time, people doubted Martin Truex Jr. Then Martin Truex Jr. finally broke out. So I'm not going to say never, but like I said, he's going to have that big aha moment that Martin Truex Jr. had at some point in his career. I love your show. Keep up the good work, says Zane Summerfield. I appreciate you, Zane. I will keep working at it. I'm prime time, not an alien, says OJ and Toothpaste. BB merch. Yeah, I appreciate you. You posted the merch for me a minute ago, but I'll post it here real quick. So if you want to help out the channel, there is the merch store down below. I just posted it. Let's see. Jenna Allison says, go 8-car. Go 49er, says Mark Barnum. Yep, for sure. We were going today. Pulled that one out. I swear, Tim Taylor, clumsy, says RJ. Seahawks won, says Jenna Allison. So there you go. The Seahawks won. Let's see. Jenna, should I get this on the schedule? Yeah, so there you go. Putting it together. Jeffrey Earnhardt is not that good, says Thomas Haywood. I don't know. I think Xfinity Series is good for Jeffrey Earnhardt. Hopefully he can get a decent ride and show something there. I met Kyle Busch, says Jenna Allison. Most drivers have 5 to 6 full-time seasons to start to be a winner, says Duke Chronic. Denny sucks. Demi sucks, says Mark Barnum and Shaw. Keith Risk, Dillon is not good enough to deserve to drive the 3. Put Kyle Busch in the 3. It doesn't matter who you put in the 3. Somebody's going to complain every time they don't win a race that they're not Dale Earnhardt Sr. So it really doesn't matter if it's Austin Dillon or somebody else. It's always going to be a complaint from somebody. Colorado Buffs win, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, like double overtime or something like that. Thank you all. God bless. Says Roofer, your mama's so crazy. She once ran with Elvis. Roofer says 07. And Hamlin does amuse, though, says Shaw. So Shaw finds Hamlin quite amusing. All right, that looks like we have gotten to the end of it. So I'm going to check you guys on Tuesday. I might make some videos if something happens. Or, if I can think of something cool to make a video about. Other than that, I'll work on some of the longer projects we're working on here. And until then, y'all take them easy. Have a good night. Don't get too stressed out on Mondays. Peace.